Hi, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager. Next up is our good friends, Mac and Natalia, and they're going to talk to us about how to have successful mediations. Take it away.
Hi again. Thank you so much, Mike, for having us on Biz Talk. So today's topic, we're giving a few tips on mediation, and of course, to talk about instantmediations.com, a company that we co-founded. So generally speaking, humans, it's in our nature to avoid conflict. We want to make people happy that we're in front of. We are natural people pleasers. We work with families all the time, and sometimes we realize that children want to make the parent they're in front of happy. It's just innate in us. So because of that, we try to avoid conflict. Some people, this is just ingrained in them. Certainly it's ingrained in me. I don't like to fight with people if I don't have to. In fact, I've heard somebody once say that when they go to a restaurant and they order their food and their food comes out kind of soggy or kind of cold, they actually would prefer to eat it rather than create conflict by calling the waiter or waitress and complaining about it to management. And so there has to be a better way though. There has to be a way where you can be made happy, be made whole, and get the food you want, get the outcome you want, while at the same time not producing anger and antagonism in other people. And so this is what we're all about. We're about trying to help people who want to avoid conflict find ways to deal with it, to deflate it, and to handle it in a more effective way. And that's what conflict resolution is all about.
Because generally we believe that conflicts shouldn't be really avoided, they should be resolved in an amicable and respectful manner. And this is what mediation and other outside of court dispute resolution methods offer. So we focus on mediation this time because we want to present all the benefits of it again, both in life and in business. And what we see, how people come to us, most of them really think that when they avoid conflict, they will be happier, stronger, and perceived more as easygoing. However, that might rather suggest that someone lacks conflict management skills, which of course that can be taught. But mediator comes in there so that this third party neutral helps to see all this conflict in the totally new light and helps find solutions to move on, to move forward.
So just some basic tips. If you are having conflict, again, it's not your fault. If you don't know how to naturally deal with it, most people don't. It has to be trained. And that's why mediators go to mediation training school to learn it. And so if you're having conflict, reach out to a mediator and invite the other party to contact them as well. And so tip number one, persuade your party who is in conflict with you to attend mediation. Don't shove it down their throat. Just offer it as a way out, as a proposal that might help address the concern. But do it in such a way where it's not going to be seen as if you're trying to force mediation upon them. Help people understand what mediation is. And it's a way for people to deal with a dispute and conflict in a way that is beneficial to both parties involved. And only if it's beneficial to both parties involved in terms of the outcome will they agree to sign on the dotted line to resolve the dispute in its entirety. If it's not beneficial to both parties involved, then certainly it's going to probably go to the next step and go to court, or the conflict will keep existing. So in a way, there's a win-win for both parties who are involved, or even if it's multiple parties who are involved. So that's the first tip. Persuade the other side to attend mediation with you. Have them Google mediation. Have them go online and learn what mediation is for themselves so they can see, oh, okay, this is not something that is going to be enforced on me. This is something that is confidential. It's something that is being handled by a neutral person that is not on anybody's side. It's something that is affordable compared to going to court. It's something that can lead to a resolution that will make all sides happy.
And having said that again, someone might ask, okay, mediation. So how do I do that? What do I do first? Even if I have already this agreement that someone will go with me to this mediation, what do I do next? So next, what you do is you need to find a mediator. And again, quite a lot of people say, oh, but if this mediator was proposed by my husband, my business partner, there has to be bias. So one of the absolutely unnegotiable rules of mediation is that there is no bias, that there is respect, and that there is, the name of the mediator is the third party neutral. That means that mediator has no interest in resolving the conflict to the benefit of any of the parties, or has no interest in the topic of this entire dispute. That gives him absolute freedom in seeing all the meanders of this conflict and pointing to the parties what possible solutions they can have. If you don't know where to find a mediator, it's best that you go to our website, instantmediations.com, where we have a directory of mediations. Please know that there are people who specialize in particular areas of mediation. You can have elderly mediation, you can have divorce mediation, property mediation, you can have labor law, so employment or discrimination mediators, and we have been working to create such a catalog, such a directory, so that everybody can go online and have no doubts that whom they are picking is going to be a good choice for their dispute to be resolved professionally, with respect, and empowering the parties to make their own decisions.
So typically you would want to offer another tip of a few mediators to choose from to the other side. Don't just give them one mediator, the one that you've selected, because they may feel that that person is biased. And like Natalia says, neutrality is the most important part of this whole thing. So the mediator needs to be trusted. If they are not trusted, then people will not believe that the outcome will actually have the effect that they're wanting. And so on instantmediations.com, as was just referenced, there are plenty of people to choose from. And Natalia went down a whole list of different types of mediators who might be available, but there's also education mediators and bankruptcy mediators, and there's all sorts. Any kind of conflict you can imagine, there's probably somebody there who's going to be able to help you and the other side reach some kind of agreement. And if it can't be reached, then that's what we have judges for, to help people break the impasse and get into some kind of final disposition.
So, okay, what do? I am now in mediation and I have the mediator. So, mediator explains the entire process to the parties, so reiterates all those important points. This is also the moment where you can ask your mediator any question you think is relevant about the mediator's qualifications, about the possible doubts you have or things that you don't understand in the process. Mediation is designed to be comfortable. Everybody needs to know and see that mediation is a safe place. And the safe place is there being created by the mediator, whether the mediation takes place in person or online. And you can count on just being comfortable, not being pushed to anything, being listened to. And there comes some other tips that we wanted to give to you when you are already in mediation. So there is a concept that's been growing in all these conflict resolution spheres of empathic listening. Previously, we have been talking a lot about just active listening. And active listening embraced just showing your interest into what is being said. However, empathetic listening is more about that you also understand what the other party is saying. You understand and you're willing to feel yourself in someone else's shoes.
So empathetic listening or active listening, all these skills are things that mediators bring to the table to help the parties see and understand things in a different way. There's also reframing when the mediator was going to help you and the other side see things in a way they didn't see it before. Look, we're all clouded by emotions, and so there's a lot of power in helping people see things differently. So anyway, hope these tips are helpful. If you have a conflict, you have a dispute, go to a mediator. As we always say, don't wait, mediate. Instead of calling an attorney first, we're lawyers, we're mediators, but we want to encourage you to pick up the phone and call mediator first. All right, check out more about us at alaskapeer.com.
And in our podcast at Lawyers and Mediators International at LMI on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you watch or listen to your podcast. Please remember that there is a lot of good material free for those who are pro se, so are not represented by attorneys, for those who are mediators also to learn more, and just risk it. Go for it.
Thank you.
Hey, that was some really great information. And what you got to do is you got to look at mediation. It's a great tool that can really help you and your business avoid some costly litigation. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on BizTalk TV on the Now Media Television Networks.